In the mid-1980s I travelled to Tenterfield in search of an elderly accordion player by the name of Bruce Smith. On the corner of King Street and the Bruxner Highway I bailed up the first old gent I'd seen. He was smartly dressed with jacket, a kubra and walking cane, and he was of the vintage I was seeking. I told him who I was looking for, to which he replied sceptically, "Why do you want to find him?" Of course, as it transpired, he was the very Bruce Smith I'd been seeking. He invited me to come round to his home in Martin Street that afternoon, and thus began a most productive relationship. He was one of 4 brothers and 3 sisters, of whom most were musical, and the bulk of this music was learnt from uncles and neighbours in the scrub area of New England, New South Wales. For this bush music he played the button accordion. Some of his unique repertoire accompanies this presentation. Early school days were at the Scrub School, and in this group, circa 1905, half of them were Smiths, or Smith's cousins. This is Bruce and his sister Evie breaking in a young bullock. 1922, Bruce and draft horse team. He was hauling for Mangelsons. This photograph, which was displayed at Tamworth Workers' Club, shows Bruce felling a crabapple tree. The Smiths' early married days were spent in the Crooked Creek area east of Tenterfield, and here his singer car sits outside what the bridge gang called Luna Park, as their home was the only structure illuminated at night. The bagpipes were his great love, and the Tenterfield Pipe Band later bestowed life membership upon Bruce. And here's the Smiths, with Bruce in full piping regalia. Bruce was best known in the district as a bullocky, and his walls at home were plastered with bullock posters and these photographs of his bullock days. Working hard, hauling at Crooked Corner, taking a breather at the top, the dreaded bog hole, wicked in the wet and difficult at the best of times. He had names for his bullocks, especially the leaders, who he called Bonnie, Bright, Dusty and Lucky, among others. Yoking up on the scrub road and with schoolteacher photographer George Davies. When necessary, Bruce worked with very large teams, sometimes in excess of 24 bullocks, as seen here in some of these pictures. And ready for the mill. This is bullocky and fiddler Sid Taylor, ready to yoke up, with whom Bruce played music. And with folklorist musician Barry MacDonald, chatting with Bruce on one of the collecting trips we made together to the New England region. Bruce demonstrating in this picture how Billy Moylan laid the accordion down on his lap flat. And you'll note his adaptation to an ordinary dining chair, now on wheels, giving him easier mobility throughout his home. He was very keen on the Scottish music of the great Jimmy Shand and his fiddler Sid Chalmers, but the bulk of his tunes were learnt from his uncles, the Eberts, and neighbours in the Scrub and Bluff Rock district. They included the aforementioned Billy Moylan of Bungalla on accordion, and his brother Ted on violin, Tommy Pidkin, concertina, John Petrie and the violinists from the Taylor family, Tommy, Billy and Sid, and more modern players, Mick Pidkin on violin and Alex Petrie on the piano, who played old-time music throughout the district for dances and functions in the latter part of the last century. I'm pleased to have shared a part of your music and your cultural heritage. Thank you, Bruce.